step up. It's a necessary step up, and it's necessary to where I want to go.
I like the ambition before I go to...
I must beat him, of course, to achieve that dream.
He says his team will solve the Hrgovic puzzle. What is the puzzle? What are your biggest assets, do you think? We see you as possibly the best three-round heavyweight on the planet with your power. What is it that's going to trouble Itauma?
Oh, we'll see, but I think yeah, I'm the best opponent he faced. I think he never been until now in the ring with someone like me with that kind of experience, endurance, toughness, power. So
just come with the performance. With boxing Hrgovic, I was taking him serious, and now that the belt's on the line, I still take him serious. Nothing's changed. Like, I still want to beat him as much as I did before the belts were on the line. So like, of course, it will be an honor, and I'd love to be a world champion. But it's about Filip Hrgovic himself, you know. I mean, in 10 weeks' time, like, the truth shall prevail, and the truth shall prevail.
That's the only truth, man. His team can analyze whatever they want. My team can analyze, but in 10 weeks we'll see. And whole world can believe in him, and it's not gonna help him. Or whole world can believe in myself, it's not gonna help me. So it's just me and him, and I'll beat him. However, doesn't matter. Knockout or the points, but I'm gonna definitely beat him.
No, obviously, when we signed this fight, just boxing Hrgovic, and then 2 weeks into the fight being made, there was a couple of talks about this and that. And I know with boxing, it's never secure. Like, everything's just always up in the air, so it's not secure until you wrote it down on a piece of paper and this is what's gonna happen. So I just said, no, Hrgovic. And then it might have been like last week, I got told that we can make the Hrgovic fight a world title under certain
stipulations.
Lose this fight, can you?
Yeah, this loss was bothering me for a long time. You know, I needed like 1 year to recover from that. It was big upset for me because I definitely was believing in myself that I'm gonna beat him, but a lot of bad things happened before that fight. I was injured, I was sick, and I just wasn't myself in that fight, and I didn't look good. And after you can't explain anyone that, you know, no one care that have you been sick or in.
Moses Itauma explains that while he would love to score a knockout against Filip Hrgovic, that isn't what he is obsessing over when he enters the ring. His main focus is following his game plan, staying disciplined, and executing what he has prepared for in training. Itauma understands that a knockout can come naturally if he performs the way he wants to. But if the fight goes the distance, he will still be satisfied as long as he sticks to his strategy and delivers the performance he knows he is capable of.
Surprising 14 fights, you're unbeaten, 12 of those 14 wins, knockouts. Is it going to be the same thing against Hrgovic? What do you think?
I mean, that's my game plan, but that's what I hope for, but I never really go focusing on a knockout. I just focus on sticking to the game plan. And if at least a knockout, at least a knockout. If it don't, it don't. So I'm not really too focused on that, but we'll see in it.
Filip Hrgovic says Moses Itauma's feints won't bother him because of his experience. He believes he can read Itauma's movements and stay composed. Hrgovic plans to use his stiff jab to disrupt Itauma's rhythm and control the distance. He also has a countering plan ready. If Itauma lunges forward with a left hand, Hrgovic says he'll step back, make him miss, and fire a counterpunch. Hrgovic believes this strategy can punish Itauma whenever he gets too aggressive.
So you see certain holes in Moses' game because he's relatively young and inexperienced, and you're someone who has the amateur pedigree. Bronze medal at Olympics. You've kind of seen it all.
And when does this feinting, it's not gonna work with me. I'm gonna stick the jab in his face with that feinting down, boom, jab, and he come with a left hand, I'm going back, boom, counter punch.
So is he? I mean,
Right hand, left hook.
Itauma says he is ranked number 1 by the WBO, while Hrgovic is ranked number 2. He explains that if Fabio Wardley had won his last fight, he likely would have given up his title, allowing Itauma and Hrgovic to fight for the vacant world championship. That could have given Itauma the opportunity to become a world champion at just 21 years old. Itauma also admits he wasn't sure the fight would actually happen at first. His team offered the fight, but he kept checking every day to see if Hrgovic had signed the agreement. While they were already considering other opponents, Hrgovic eventually asked for the fight contract toward the end of last week, confirming that the matchup was officially happening.
It was actually going to be, so I'm ranked number 1 with the WBO, he's ranked number 2, and had Fabio would have won, he would have relinquished the title, and then me and Hrgovic could have fight for that real world title. So I could have been a world champion at 21, but I mean, we didn't get that accolade, but I mean the Hrgovic fight still stands, so I'm happy that I got that. To be fair, I didn't think that the fight was gonna happen until maybe last week or so, because we proposed the fight to him, and I kept asking every single day, has he signed? Has he signed? Has he signed? Never signed. So we started looking at other opponents, and then it was maybe towards the end of last week, he was like, oh, actually, I want the bout agreement. So I was like, you know what, we're on now.
what does he?
Filip Hrgovic says he has complete confidence in his ability to keep moving forward and fighting, even if his opponent lands clean shots. He isn't worried about an opponent's power or speed because he trusts his toughness and preparation. However, he admits there is one thing that genuinely concerns him: suffering a cut during the fight. Hrgovic explains that unlike pain or pressure, a cut is something he cannot control through mental strength alone. If a cut opens, the ringside doctor has the final say on whether he can continue, making that the one factor he truly worries about.
I know when he hit me, I'm gonna continue to coming. So I know that, but for the cut, I cannot, if it's open, I cannot close it with my power of my will, it's just, it's just cut, and the doctor is gonna decide, but that's the only thing that worries me. But if cut not happen, God is great. I believe he will help me and protect me. But if it's open, that's not good. But besides that, I'm not afraid of his power or his speed or anything. I'm just afraid of the cut.
And it's something that
Moses Itauma says he is surprised that the word fear was even mentioned, because it is not something he thinks about in boxing. He describes every fight like a puzzle, believing that with the right preparation, he can find a way to solve any challenge. Itauma says he does not fear any opponent. Instead, he understands that some fights may be more difficult than others, but he trusts his preparation and ability to handle whatever comes his way.
Man, I'm shocked that you said it. Listen, I think boxing is, for me, it's a puzzle. And with the right preparation, I don't feel like there's a puzzle that I can't solve. So I wouldn't say that I necessarily fear anyone. It's just there are fights out there that might be easier than others.
Filip says everything is going great right now. The team is back in the gym, training hard, staying focused, and enjoying every part of the journey. He says they've had a really good time preparing for this fight, but now it's time to focus on the bigger picture. Filip believes this could be one of the biggest and most exciting fights of the year. With a young fighter, experience, and a tough opponent all involved, he expects an exciting matchup with plenty of action. For Filip, everything has come together perfectly, and now he's ready to step into the ring and deliver a great fight.
Beautiful, everything great. We did it. We didn't enjoy it. We like to go back to the gym.
Yeah.
We don't like to do this, but you must, that's in contract. So we must to do this, and everything good. We had a great time, and it will be a great fight. It's amazing fight, one of the best fights, man. One of the most exciting fights this year.
Yeah.
And a great upcoming young kid, experienced guy, myself. and it's a
Warren believes this fight is extremely hard to predict because both Filip Hrgovic and Moses Itauma are powerful punchers who can change the fight at any moment. Hrgovic is known for starting quickly and putting pressure on his opponents from the opening bell. But Itauma is also a fast starter, with quick hands, strong movement, and impressive footwork. Warren expects Hrgovic to use his experience and try to take Itauma into the later rounds, where his stamina and conditioning will be tested. There are questions about how Itauma will handle those difficult rounds, but Warren believes the young fighter is ready for the challenge and has the ability to prove himself.
And we'll see, you know, Filip starts fast. So that's going to be interesting. And I'm sure using his experience he's got, he'll want to be taking him into the later rounds to see what Moses has got late on in the fight. And they're all obviously, in a lot of people, not in mine, but in a lot of people's, have those question marks and want to see the answers to them. Me, I think he's capable, and it'd be interesting to see when that bell goes how Filip reacts with Moses, who's quite a fast starter and got very fast hands, good footwork. So that's
Tony Bellew believes Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury are the two heavyweights best equipped to make Moses Itauma miss and punish him in return. Apart from those two, Bellew feels Itauma has the speed, accuracy, and composure to find openings against almost anyone in the division. He says Itauma's ability to stay calm while picking apart opponents makes him extremely difficult to deal with. According to Bellew, the bigger challenge for Itauma isn't finding opportunities to land, but avoiding getting caught himself.
You know, there's nobody in the world right now, apart from Alexander Usyk, Tyson Fury, who he couldn't pick holes in.
I think so, yeah.
Apart from them two,
so much.
He's going to nail anyone. He's going to catch anyone. The big factor is will they nail him first?
Yeah,
and that's the thing. Only them two fights I've just named are capable of making him miss and making him pay. All the other fights.
Liam Goff analyzes the physical demands of a high-paced fight on Moses Itauma. He points out that Itauma has never been past 6 rounds in his career, which raises questions about how he will handle the fatigue of the later rounds, 7th through 11th. He explains that when a fighter tires, physiological effects like lactic acid buildup make it harder to hold up their arms, maintain defensive positioning, or keep the snap in their punches. He contrasts this with Filip Hrgovic, noting that the Croatian has previously experienced deep round fatigue, taken heavy shots, and successfully gone the distance in past bouts, suggesting Hrgovic may be better equipped to sustain a high-intensity pace.
That's a high pace. And Itauma, who's never been even 8 rounds, never been past 6 rounds. This is the thing, right? How is it going to feel in the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, when you're tired, when you can't move as quick, when you're even holding your arms up? You know, the lactic acid builds up and your arms, you can't even hold them up the same way you could 3 or 4 rounds ago. When the snap on your punch is going, when he's hitting you, when he's pushing you back to the ropes, so you're too tired to push him back. Hrgovic has been in those situations before. He's been in situations where he's taken big shots, he's gone the distance, he's been fatigued in fights, he had that rough 8 round against everyone. He's been through all that. Itauma has never been trying anything like that, even in his life maybe, who knows? I mean, I don't know what he's like in the gym, but that is going to be a learning experience. And in those situations, you can either sink or swim. And the problem with Itauma is that he's only...
Liam Goff says Itauma has received huge praise from the media, trainers, and fans even before becoming a professional. However, he believes too much hype could create an inflated ego, which could hurt Itauma when he faces his biggest test yet. Goff still thinks Itauma can win, but admits he is not as confident as he was when the fight was first announced. He says many people in boxing seem to have the same concerns. He also expects Itauma to face a real moment of crisis during the fight. If he finally faces serious adversity, especially after saying his chin would not be tested, Goff believes Itauma's ability to stay composed, adapt, and overcome the challenge could decide the fight.
I really hope it doesn't. I think Itauma's still going to win this fight, but I am not... When this fight was announced, I was like, he's going to win it late. And if you said to me, put money... I'm not a betting man, I don't bet on fights, but if you had said, put some money on it, all right, I'll put money on it. Now I'm like, I think he's going to win, I'm not going to put money on it. I don't feel that confident to put money on it, quite frankly. And I think a lot of others are feeling the same when it comes to Moses Itauma about all this. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Itauma, as good as he's been looking, this Hrgovic fight is going to be a problem. He will... All right. I'm going to say something. I reckon in this fight, there's a very good chance Itauma gets into a crisis. And I think I'm going to say he will get into a crisis in this fight. The question is...
Jordan Vine explains that in boxing, many people believe lifting heavy weights can make a fighter slower. But he says that when strength training is done correctly, it can actually improve a boxer's performance. For Moses Itauma, the extra strength hasn't taken away his speed or explosiveness. He's still quick, sharp, and powerful in the ring. Jordan believes Moses has learned how to combine his strength with his natural speed and technique. Instead of slowing him down, the added power could make Itauma even more dangerous when he steps into the ring.
With boxing, it's still in the dark ages where people are like, oh, don't lift heavy weights, it'll slow you down. But if you know how to do it and when to do it, it can add to your boxing. And I mean, he looks like he's slowing down, doesn't he? He's so quick, so fast.
Hrgovic isn't impressed by Itauma's amateur record, pointing out that the young heavyweight simply doesn't have the same level of experience. Hrgovic had to fight his way up from Croatia, building his career through tough tests and years of competition. From his perspective, Itauma's confidence and swagger could become a major weakness. Hrgovic sees that attitude as a potential recipe for disaster once the pressure of a real heavyweight fight sets in.
Also, the way Hrgovic was, I don't want to say disrespectful, because he did say he does respect him to an extent anyway, but was dismissive is the better word. Saying like, you know, what have you done? Like, what have you actually done? You've done nothing as an amateur, really. You know, you were a junior. I don't even think you fought senior. You've done nothing as an amateur. You didn't do what Hrgovic did. You know, Hrgovic went from Croatia, which is not a mecca of boxing, really. Eastern Europe as a whole isn't really a mecca of boxing. It's not a place. You get great fighters out of there, but you have to work, you know, tooth and nail to get any bit of, you know, any publicity. You know, really, especially kind of when you're coming out west, you really need to work hard then. So Hrgovic he looks at Itauma and just thinks, you know, you've just been given all this. You haven't earned it. You haven't done anything that warrants, you know, all this hype. And Hrgovic dismissive. He's like, you know, I haven't seen anything. Now, at the end of the day, I think Hrgovic I think he's just trying to be, you know, a little bit dismissive of Itauma. Surely he's seen him, and surely he knows that Itauma is very, very good. But for him, he's probably just seeing someone at the same time who's a kid, 21 years old, you know, all this swagger and arrogance about him, and he probably thinks, oh yeah.
Itauma has claimed that his chin will never truly be tested, but the narrator believes that's simply unrealistic in boxing. No matter how talented or defensively sound a fighter is, eventually, they can face adversity. Even defensive legends like Floyd Mayweather had moments where they were tested. So for Itauma, the key is being prepared for that moment if it comes. Against an experienced heavyweight like Hrgovic, that could be one of the biggest questions of the fight.
You could tell Itauma in that face-off was getting a little bit uncomfy, you know, talking about, well, it doesn't matter about my chin. No one's ever going to check it. Mate, it's boxing. Everyone. Floyd Mayweather is maybe the greatest defensive fighter of all time. He's certainly up there. He's had his chin tested. Shane Mosley. He came through it. Are you seriously telling me, Moses Itauma, that you think that something like that could never happen to you? It happened to Floyd Mayweather. It happened to Sweet Pea. It's happened to these fighters who are gifted defensively. It's going to happen to you.
Ade Oladipo believes Filip Hrgovic has all the tools to make this a serious test. He's proven his durability with a solid chin and a reliable gas tank, especially after being tested against tough opponents like Joe Joyce. Now, under the guidance of Abel Sanchez, Hrgovic appears rejuvenated and is starting to rediscover the form and potential that had people talking about him years ago. Moses Itauma still enters as the favorite, with the host estimating the odds around 65-35 in his favor. But Hrgovic is far from a safe bet to overlook. He's a legitimate threat, and some fans are already backing the upset, particularly after seeing the confidence and intensity he's shown during recent face-offs.
And someone did ask me in the gym earlier, like, can Hrgovic cause the upset? And I was like, absolutely. Of course he can. Like, in terms of a split, I think this is 65-35 Itauma. Some might have it a bit wider. I mean, if you've got it 80-20 or 90-10, then you're watching the wrong sport. Like, Itauma's very, very special, but...
Liam Goff says the face-off between Moses Itauma and Filip Hrgovic was more revealing than most. While many modern face-offs feel routine or overdone, this one seemed to show a clear difference in composure. Hrgovic appeared calm, confident, and almost dismissive, while Itauma looked noticeably uncomfortable and anxious. From a psychological standpoint, the narrator believes Hrgovic won that battle. Of course, the face-off doesn't determine what happens in the ring. But if body language is any indication, Hrgovic certainly looked like the more confident fighter heading into the fight.
Extremely revealing. The face-off. That face-off, here's the thing, right? Face-offs, you could argue, they're done to death a lot these days. And in some cases, they maybe well are. You know, back in the day, it used to be Johnny Nelson or Max Kellerman who did them, and they only did them for the top of the top. Like, even pay-per-views didn't always get a face-off. Whereas now, a lot of them seem to happen. You know, that is what that is. Some of them, at the end of the day, it's quality over quantity. Some of them are good, but a lot of them, you know, they're forgettable. Because again, you do so many of them, you know, what can you really do? And you know kind of what you're getting. It's like styles make fights, you know. You get two people who are both kind of mellow characters. They're not